All right, so I just finished that intro mad dry, okay? My bad, y'all. I just got off work and a little tired. Ain't even gonna lie to you, a little tired. And then second, let's see if I can brighten. Oh, now I'm making myself look a little orange. You're just gonna keep that off. But anyways, I had me a edible at like 2:30. Got home at 5:30-ish, somewhere around there. We're just gonna talk through the autofocus because yeah, it's trying. Okay, it's because I moved my head. So my bad, y'all. It's having a hard time when I move. And y'all know I'm a mover. But okay. Trying to see if I can at least move my eyes. But okay. Alright, anyways, back to the story. So took it about 2:30. Then about 5:30 I got home. And I laid on the couch and I was about to start doing some work, and I said to myself, like, dang, I guess it don't work no more, because that's not the first time or the second time or the third time I didn't have one of them gummies. Well, edibles, because it's not a gummy. One of those edibles, and it hit me within a certain amount of time. But y'all, when I got home at 5:30, that thing still hadn't hit me yet. And then all of a sudden, I'm waking up to children running around in the hallway, slamming doors and whatnot. I glance at my phone. Y'all, it's 7:20. And that's when I realized, oh, it did hit me, but it hit me in a different way. So just be careful. when you taking your edibles. Just be careful, because even if it's from the same exact batch, that thing might hit you a little differently than it has in previous times. And yeah, I've never experienced that experience from those edibles before. But yeah, so now I'm up a little bit, because normally I would be asleep by now, but seeing as how I just kind of had a mini nap, I don't feel as tired. I'm still tired and definitely about to go to sleep after I'm done with all of my stuff that I need to get done. But because I fell asleep and I did not do what I was supposed to do, I now have to do it now during this little moment I still feel awake, and then I'm gonna go to sleep after. But when I was in the bathroom, I told y'all, well, you just saw, and if you didn't see, then I finished the final episode of This Is Us the other day, and if you want to see my reaction to the video, then you know, I'll leave the link to that video down in the description box. But it is arguably one of the best shows I've ever watched, and it actually kind of has me in a mood right now of, I don't even want to watch any other TV shows right now, because it's like, what's the point after This Is Us? What is the point? Because that series is so layered, and it gives you so many moments that are so like, I felt something. Or it's like you feel a range of emotions watching that show. It is so well done, and for how they wrapped it up, like, it felt like a complete ending. And like, as sad as it was, it also was beautiful. So now it's like, I don't think there is another show out there that will make me feel the way that This Is Us has made me feel. So well put together, so complete, so like just relatable, like, and even though it's set during so many different times, it flows so nicely, and it actually feels current even with all the layers to it. So yeah, absolutely great show. Another show that I'm still in the midst of watching is Outlander, but their final season has not came out yet. But This Is Us is kind of similar in the sense of the time jumping. There's a lot of time jumping between like characters' lives. So you see them when they were 5, you see them when they are teenagers, when they are adults, when they're old, you know, you see their whole lives. So it's kind of like that a little bit with Outlander, where you are able to piece together lives and kind of get a back and forth. Well, more so with Claire than anybody. But yeah, anyways, that's not what this video is about. So I wanted to touch on something within This Is Us that made me do a deep dive within myself, where I actually was having some self-reflection. And I don't know if it's because, you know, MJ still in the system or what, and I'll probably chalk it up a little bit too. Yes, partial reason is because MJ's still in the system. And yeah. But anyways, so something during like the last few episodes is there's like a flashback of Randall with his dad. And if you've watched This Is Us but you have not finished out the last season, then this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but not a whole lot, because I'm not going to share a whole lot. But there is a scene where there's a flashback of Randall talking with his dad, William, and his dad is like kissing on the girls, getting ready to leave with Randall, and Randall is off in the distance watching. Like he kind of like walks up on it happening type of situation. And William shares with him, like, it's hard to describe, but him now having grandchildren, he's able to realize just how much love his grandparents have for him. Like, he's now able to understand the love that grandparents feel. And he said that it's kind of crazy, I'm paraphrasing at this point, it's kind of crazy because all that he remembers about his grandparents is very small things, like the way that they smelled and etc, etc. And so that piece right there made me do a deep dive, like not intentionally, like I was just sitting popping a pimple and my thoughts just started going, so it wasn't like intentional. But thankfully, one of my previous seasons taught me the beauty of slowing down and actually paying attention to your thoughts, like being aware of what you are actually thinking. And so I clicked back in. Like, you know, I was focused on popping my pimple and my thoughts and my mind was just going. But when I clicked back in, it was like, hold on, wait. This is a self-awareness moment. Like, this is something that I actually need to intentionally think about and think on, and, you know, go down this rabbit hole or this thought a little deeper. And so the thought of it was my own grandparents. Like, I don't remember much about my grandfathers because one was an addict, or so what I was told. And when I have the memories of what I do remember about him, a pipe comes to mind, and the pipe had the most awful smell to it ever. And me now as a grown adult, knowing what weed smells like, I now know without a doubt whatever was in that pipe was not weed at all. It smelled awful. And so that's one of the things I remember about my dad's dad. And then the other thing I remember about him is that I believe he gave my mom a crystal or something, like, and there's something with a vacuum cleaner. Like, that's what I remember about him that's what I remember about him. Like, when the first thought of him comes to mind, those are the first thoughts. And like, as you can see, they are very incomplete. Like, a pipe that smelled awful, but I now know as an adult, oh, ain't no way that was weed. Like, weed has never smelled like that. And so, like, being told that he was an addict, putting two and two together, it's like, oh, that was some type of substance. And then, like, when I intentionally think about, like, wanting to remember details about him, what I remember is vaguely how he looked. Now, if I saw him out in the crowd, I don't think I would be able to pick him out, unfortunately. But, like, I do vaguely remember, like, he was round and he was not very tall and gray hair. Like, very vague, y'all. And then my mom's dad, I actually remember him a lot more. But, like, I remember what he looked like, his appearance, a lot more. But as far as, like, interactions with him, do not remember a whole lot. Like, I remember, again, what he smelled like. And I remember he would always tell me and my sister that he was going to take us fishing one day. I remember he was in the church a lot now. And he would sit in the front row. He was a deacon. But his voice, like, I don't remember what his voice sounded like. But I do remember what he looked like. And I remember his smell. And sitting in his lap in a big chair. Yeah, I remember stuff like that. I remember I choked while he was around. Like, I was choking on like a candy bar. My mom, him, my grandma, and my sister were all around. And I think it was either my mom or my grandma who got the candy out my mouth. But yeah, I do remember that. And that just came to mind thinking about him. So that's as far as my grandfathers go. That's what I remember. But he died very, very early. Like, he was the very first death that I experienced close, that I experienced, period. That wasn't an animal. That was like, oh, this is what death is. Like, this is what this means. So remember that whole situation, because yeah, that's locked in as a core memory. Remember that whole day. Yeah. When it comes to my grandmas, now I remember them so much more. And what's odd is I don't remember what they smelled like. My grandmas, I don't recall what they smelled like. Not saying that they didn't wear perfume, but if they did, I don't think it was anything that was super memorable for me, or they didn't consistently wear it, or they switched out their scents. Like, those are the only reasons I could think of. But yeah, I don't recall my grandmother's scents. But I recall so much more about them. I recall their personalities. I recall their face. Yeah, like, now if I saw my grandmas out in the crowd, definitely can pick them out. And if I saw my mom's dad in the crowd, you can, like, 90% pick them out. Like, I'm not as confident as I am with my grandmas, but I'm pretty confident that I could. So that's why I'm giving it a 90, because, like, my grandma's, no questions asked. But it's also because I was around my grandmothers and my grandma so much more. Like, spent significant time with the both of them, where probably growing up I spent more time with them than I did my own mom and dad, or equal amount of time as I did with my mom and dad. Like, that's how much time I spent with my grandmas. So yeah, remember so much about them. That was very long-winded to set y'all up for this actual thought that I had, which I dove deeper into intentionally. And that thought was, I don't recall, and I can't recall, so I don't believe it happened for me. But I didn't get, I haven't experienced a male figure being consistently in my life from childhood till now. My father was there in the very beginning, and then he remarried, and then unfortunately he murdered my stepmom, so he has been incarcerated since I was in high school. So that's not really a close relationship. And then as far as uncles go, my mom didn't have any brothers. My dad didn't have any brothers. My dad only had one sister. She never got married. She did have children, but never saw who she had children with. I can't tell you who she had children with, and technically a child with, because she only had one. But yeah, never seen him. Don't even know his name. Like, him and I could be standing right next to each other and I wouldn't even know, like, oh, you my aunt's baby daddy. Like, wouldn't even know. And then my mom, she had multiple sisters. One of her sisters did have a child. Well, she had 2 children, actually. Can't tell you who she had children with. Don't know his name. Have seen a picture. But don't know his name. Don't know where he at. Like, never met him. He don't even know about me, probably. And then my mom's other sister, she passed away when my mom was a little girl, so I never even got a chance to meet her. And then my mom's last sister, she had 3. She did get married, and he was in our lives from the time that I can recall. From the time that I was probably, well, I probably was actually a lot younger, but in the early years of my life, he wasn't there consistently. Like, he was my Uncle Sonny. So our relationship got closer more so after my dad got incarcerated. Now, it was already building once my dad got remarried, but I wouldn't say that it really took hold until after my dad got incarcerated. So although I knew and had been around him since I was a young girl, didn't really have a super close relationship until after high school. Like, during high school, after. Like, I think honestly it was probably even more so around like sophomore year of high school and onward, where it started to grow closer and closer. And then he passed away about 2 years ago. Those are the male figures. Yeah, those were the male figures. I had my dad up until about middle schoolish, and then that slowly grew apart. Actually, it quickly grew apart, because I was actually daddy's girl growing up. And then when they got divorced, that thing waned very quickly. And now it's like it's kind of like a reviving heartbeat, like it's trying. And then my Uncle Sonny, high school onward, but still not like, you know. But no, definitely right with my Uncle Sonny. Like, very, very sad that he left, and was closer to my uncle than some of my blood members, honestly. So yeah, those are the two. Didn't have any other male figures, and so far I've not had a male figure that was like consistently, and I can't actually, at this point I can't, I said so far. I can't. Haven't had any male figures that were with me from birth consistently within my life, where it's like they're imparting manly wisdom onto me. And so I'm still now actively having these thoughts. So what I say from further on is my deep dive into that self-awareness moment of, I haven't had a man who has been consistent. And so what that now makes me think of is like, is this the reason that I'm drawn and attracted to older men? Because I'm looking for a male guidance that I didn't receive as a child? Is that why I'm drawn and attracted to men who can teach me things and men I can learn from? Like, if I feel like I'm smarter than my man in all things, then I'm not attracted. Because, like, I want you to be able to teach me stuff. Now, I'm not saying that you gotta teach me Roman Greek theology. Like, you know, if you do, that's cool too. But I just want you to come with, like, some knowledge that I don't have. Because I want to be able to learn from you. And I hope I impart some wisdom onto you as well. But it's like, is that why I think the way that I do? Is because I missed out on that, you know? So that's something that I now also need to consider, is how much of an effect did that have on me, and what other major but small overlooked things like that are now dictating how my life goes and what I do. Like, is the lack of having a consistent relationship from childhood onward, or from my childhood to now, did my dad, that broken dad relationship, because like I really was close to my dad, very, very close to my dad. So that relationship, because I was closer to my dad than I was my mom. So with that relationship, oh, and also my sister, because like it's like my sister had my mom. Like, my mom and my sister have always been very close, like, just always. And so me and my dad, not out of spite or anything like that, just happened to be close. And so when my dad went to prison and did what he did, divorce, all the other stuff, you know, that hurt. Like dang, like, that hurt. You know, if I can find a meme, I'll put that in. But yeah, anyways, so how that relationship broke off, I'm just now putting it in, I'm just now putting it into words. But that taught me that relationship at a subconscious level, because that's just now what I'm realizing based off of, you know, I saw I have these little cards on my on my desk. I mean on my dresser. I'm sorry y'all. I'm gonna take a little scenic route real quick. So I have these cards on my desk, and I mean on my dresser, that are like motivational. And the other day it said something along the lines of like, pay attention to the patterns of your life. And so fresh off of seeing that, and then fresh off of watching This Is Us finale, what has just been standing out is pay attention to the patterns of your life. And so one of the patterns of my life is that my friendships that I build with people, they all reach an end. Or if they don't reach an end, then they're not consistent. And that's something that I struggle with and I want to do better with. But I can't say that I have a friendship right now where I have been doing my part of sustaining it by actually responding and showing up. And again, not fully aware. I'm aware, but not fully aware. I'm aware enough to know this is something I want to change, but not aware enough to know what is the root. And so now I'm at the root, and the root is that relationship with my father, and how it ended taught me that relationships are temporary. All relationships will come to an end. And like, yes, duh, eventually, because we all have to leave this realm. We all die. So, you know, yes, your relationship would come to an end in that way, like, of course. But I took it more so of like, they will all end eventually because maybe I'm not good enough to be their friend, or, you know, I got a lot going on, and so I don't want to burden them. So, you know, I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. And so yeah, it's like the pattern. I'm still working on the root, y'all. I don't know. I'm like, this is in real time, actively. But the pattern that I have noticed when I sat and, you know, was going back, is that the common denominator is me when it comes to my relationships and my friendships. Like, I'm the common denominator. So, am I picking friendships wrongly because previous versions of myself were not aware of who we were and true to ourselves, and so befriended people for superficial, frivolous, or even not true reasons? Like, maybe I was presenting myself as a stoner, and it's like, no, so I don't like smoking this much. Like, I like having a chill. You know, I like smoking, don't get me wrong, but I'm not trying to face a blunt all day, every day. Like, now I just need a few puffs here and there, but I don't want to walk around smelling like I smoke. Like, you know, I don't need to smoke before I eat. You know, it's no judgment. It's no judgment, because there's no judgment. And I have been that person in the past, but it's like, nah, that's not really you though. And so that's what I mean by maybe picked friends wrongly. So I thought, oh, okay, because you smoke, I smoke. Instead of being grounded on maybe something that we're both super passionate about, and then that we also kind of align. Because I also believe it's good to have friends of various backgrounds, but am I really being true to myself when I meet these people? Was I being true to myself when I met my people in the past? Like, was I presenting myself as me or who I thought they wanted me to be? So that's what I mean when I say maybe, could it be I picked wrong possibly? But then the other question is like, I don't got another question right now. It's nothing coming. So maybe that's it right there. Maybe I was picking friendships incorrectly because I was picking them based off of versions that weren't me. And so a grand scheme of the patterns of your life, something that kind of gives me solace is maybe the point of life is to find yourself. Like, you know, I feel so simple saying that because it's like, that is so cliche. Like, everybody says it, like, it's so cliche, but cliches are cliches because they're true. Like, yes, they're annoying, but if you get over the annoyance, you realize, am I annoyed because I'm the one who chose to be blind and not really soak that in? Or I'm annoyed because I'm tired of hearing it. So, yeah, no, cliches are cliches because they're true. So, the point of life is to find yourself. And some people find themselves faster than others, which is why they appear to be more successful or this or that. And maybe not even that they find themselves faster than others, because I feel like everybody, if you're still alive, I feel like you're actively still finding yourself. But could it also be that, like, maybe they took risk more instead of, like, and I feel like that's the only way to really find something out, is to take a risk. Either you do it or you don't do it. But if you don't do it, then you don't know what would have happened if you did do it. Like, there is no guarantee. And that's risky because it could go really, really bad. But it also could go really, really good. And so the more that some people take risks, and I think actually everybody, but calculated risk, like if you jump off of a 90-story building, there's a possibility that you could live and something miraculous will happen. There is a possibility. There's always a possibility. But the probability of that happening is, you can't calculate that. But you can calculate the likelihood of you dying. So, like, that's a calculated risk. It's like, yeah, the bad is outweighing the good. But if you can take a risk and it's like 50-50, hey, it's 50-50. I feel like that's why people still get married. It's a 50-50 chance. Now, if it was like a 80 to 20% chance that you would end up in divorce, I think less people would probably venture out into marriage. But with a 50-50 chance, it's like, it's 50-50. So yeah. Maybe those people who seem successful or this or well put together, or know more about themselves, maybe they took a few more calculated risks than, or a few more risks than you did or the next person did, and so they were able to find out a lot faster something new about themselves. Because I feel like every time you do something new, you find out something new about yourself. Maybe you learn that, oh, I actually like doing this, or oh, definitely don't like this, never will do this again. So you for certain find out something. And after you find out so much over the years, you can look back and start to recognize some of those patterns and be like, oh no, okay, this is who I am. And so I feel like that is what life is about, is to continuously find out who you are, because you are somebody. God made you for a reason, and so find out who he made. Find out why he made you. Because I feel like when you find you find the answers. So yeah, that's what my deep dive did. And yeah, just ooh, we went on a road. And you know what? I feel like even this camera focus is prophetic, because it was looking a little unclear. It's been struggling to find the perfect image and vision, but it keeps going, it keeps trying, and then eventually everything is made clear and you're able to recognize, oh, this is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for all along. Wait, y'all. So, I literally just got done talking to y'all. And look at what... Okay, first off, I'm on my homepage, and this video is shown. And out of all the videos, it was like, oh, a little podcast. Okay, let me, and I say little for everything. It's a Michigan thing, so not downplaying it at all. But I saw the podcast and I was like, oh, okay, let's just listen to this. This looks like a good topic. Had no idea that it was going to go into what it's going into. But look at the answer.
Elevation. Then when you begin to change, they feel threatened by it. They feel inspired by it. And then those are the friends who can be promoted in your life. But then there are friendships where they are built on old versions of you. Maybe the friendship was built on shared pain. Maybe it was built on complaining about life. Maybe it was built on survival seasons where both of you were just trying to get through. And when one person begins to heal, or they grow, or they evolve, sometimes the friendship struggles to survive that change. That doesn't make you or that person evil. It just means that the dynamic has shifted. And sometimes that shift requires a demotion. And it's not necessarily removing someone from your life completely, but changing the role that they play. Maybe they used to be someone you told everything to. Now they may become someone who you simply keep in touch with occasionally. And that, we have to understand that that's okay. And when that spiritual
hold on, y'all.
increases, certain things in your life will be.
Hold on, y'all. God really be Godding. Like he really be Godding. Cause y'all, how is this the exact conversation I just had with y'all? How? Let me show y'all.
And to feel the walk, sometimes it is the most honest from mental and your spiritual health. And choosing a different path is not a failure. Sometimes it is the most honest promotion that you can give yourself. And I want to dig a little deeper into the spiritual part, the walk that we have with God, because promotion and demotion also happens to us spiritually. And there are seasons in our life where God will elevate your awareness. He will begin showing you things differently. He will increase your discernment. You will start recognizing patterns in peoples and environment, and even within yourself. And when that spiritual awareness increases, certain things in your life will begin to feel very uncomfortable. Conversations that once entertained you may start feeling empty.
Yeah, that's crazy. The cover literally just said promotion and demotion. Like nothing else. There was no hinting whatsoever that this is what this conversation was going to be about. And that is why I say there are no coincidences. There are no mistakes. If you have the questions, the answers will come. The answers will come. When you have these thoughts, like not even just the one that I had, but like start paying attention to how you think and what you think about. God is always talking. God is in all of us. He's in all of us. God is always talking. We just are too busy, too distracted, too caught up in the routine to just stop and be like, wait a minute, what am I thinking about and why? Let me do a deep dive on this. Because it's there for a reason. Your thoughts are saying to you, hey, 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 do you see me? Do you hear me? I'm talking to you. Hey, hey. But we be like, then I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Oh, okay, let me hurry up and get to such and such, because then I wonder what it's gonna be like when I finally get this raise. Oh Lord, I just need a little bit more money because I got so much going on right now. Like we be so caught up in life that we don't stop and be like, wait, what am I actually thinking about? Not what is it that I gotta do, or what is it that I hope will be. Like, and if it is something that I hope will be, okay, well, sit in that. Why do you hope it'll be this? Like, what's the reason? Or if you keep thinking about what all you need to do, have you wrote it down? Have you made a plan and scheduled a time when you're going to do all these things? Or are you just going through the never-ending list but not taking action? Like, stop and think about what you are thinking about and why. And watch. If you got any questions, if you're unsure about anything, the answers are going to come. If you feel pulled to something or drawn to something, or something just sticks out, pay attention to that. It's a reason. And if you stay intentional and aware, you're going to learn why. Okay, going for real this time, y'all.
big beard, bitch. I gotta go.